Roberta Clardy, and thank you so much for coming. What do you think so far?
It was amazing.
Good. Awesome. We're so glad you're in Tulsa. You're in North Tulsa now, which is, I know that probably over the last year, maybe 2 years, you heard tons of stuff about Greenwood and how all of this area, and really it is from here to about a mile that way, to about 3 miles that way. We're actually, if we can, drive up to Pine Street, down Greenwood, if we can get back
Sure,
and go down.
I could do that.
We'll show you all, the entire route that we're taking. That's what burned down. That's what was destroyed. And so you keep hearing, I know you've seen a ton of things lately when people finally learned about 1921, but this is a tiny part of North Tulsa. Now, what people don't realize is that it's continued on, that the building that's right behind you, when we go past, hopefully you'll be able to see it says 1922 on top.
He showed us that, Mike.
They started building immediately. And I actually went to elementary school with their granddaughter. So we're still here. And North Tulsa, which was this tiny area, now when we think of it, that burned down, is huge. The population at the time was 11,000. Now it's over 100,000. So that, I think, is really a bit of what we really want you to know, that the Greenwood area really is rising. A lot of the people that you saw in the video are actually store owners in this building and on this street as well, that you saw in the beginning video that you saw in here.
Okay.
So, again, welcome to Tulsa. Welcome to North Tulsa. We're so glad you're here. And we are headed to Rudisill Regional Library. For those of you who got to see the Ellis Walker Woods Memorial, Freddie Martin Rudisill was a student at Booker T. Washington High School. And she really helped build the library system for North Tulsa. Keith Jimerson, who's the director there now, who you'll meet, actually learned under her. So here we go. As I say, nobody comes to Tulsa without seeing Rudisill Library. And they have the only African American Resource Center in this region. And it was also started by Kimberly Johnson, who is now the CEO of the library system. So
Great.
That's where we're headed.
Could you talk about the resilience? I think it's important for them to know that North Tulsa rebuilt back better until 1950s.
So I think that was kind of the point I was trying to make at the start, resilience. As we go down here, everything you see is still was rebuilt. The churches there were 12 churches at the time of 1921. There are over 100 churches now.
Wow.
The 1950s that you're talking about. So really, there's a little dispute. You hear Black Wall Street. The rebuild was actually Black Wall Street. So before, what was here before, where they had bottling companies, doctors, lawyers, everything going on before 1921. A newspaper. They later had 3 newspapers. Pharmacies. Then in the rebuild, it just gets even better, as you said. So by the 1950s, this is like, what did someone say the other day? Oh, actually, we were talking about it the other day, and I was saying that when I went to college at OU, someone was saying that we had everything, that it was a city.
It was called Little Manhattan.
I didn't know that. Little Manhattan. It was like a city. It's its own little city. Someone was saying we had everything here, and she's younger than I am. And I said, when I went to school at OU had like all of these, like, big buildings and everything. And I was like, huh. I didn't realize that Tulsa wasn't North Tulsa. That's how big it was as a city. And how, we have churches, roller skating rinks, movie theaters, apparently like 5 of them, movie theaters, just anything that you could possibly imagine. And so we probably should start rolling.
Okay.
And anything you could possibly imagine. And so the Big Ten Ballroom was a place like, name anybody, Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Ray Charles, everybody came through to go to first the Dreamland Theater, which I say was the BOK center of its time, and that starts by the same family that owned the 1922 building, the Williams family.
And the gentleman that was talking to you at the monument, that was his family, the Williamses.
Wow, they are the first family of North Tulsa. They were here. Someone asked about O.W. Gurley. They were here before O.W. Gurley